So, man, why don't you start us off by letting us know a little bit about yourself, where you're at, and how you got started on your flipping game.
All right, yeah, for sure. So, as you already basically explained, I'm Chris Basile. I'm actually currently 17 still, from New York. Currently not in school. Basically dropped out, yes and no. Legally dropped out, but I also have a diploma. So, what I basically did was graduate a year early, because I had the credits too. Crazy thing is that I was actually on track to be number one in my grade. Like I was valedictorian in my grade. That's how it's said in the U.S. And I was like, I got very caught up in the fact that I was learning material that I was told to learn, and I couldn't learn what I wanted to, and I felt like my potential sitting in that seat in that desk was so limited, right? And I was like, and it eventually got to me. It was like, look, what's the end goal? You know what I mean? What's the end goal? And for me, working for someone else is not the end goal that I want to strive for, right? So what I basically did was I was like, look, you got to start learning your own shit, and learn stuff that you're passionate about, and teach yourself about some stuff, and then actually go out there and try to implement it. People say knowledge is power, but for me, implemented knowledge is power. Because if you learn something, you know it, what the fuck are you gonna do with it, right? So if you don't do anything with it, you're not gonna grow. You can't fail and learn from it, right? So sophomore year or end of freshman year, beginning of sophomore year, I started really, just learning my own stuff. I really like the economy. I really like the transactional side of things. I really like, buying and selling stuff. I would never buy stuff for myself, but basically I just like that. I like that, business transaction type of feel. And that's something I always have been into. I used to shovel a lot of houses and I would have basically people work for me as well and do that, just scale it up. But yeah, I've always been entrepreneurial minded. I still wouldn't consider myself an entrepreneur because for me, unless your money works for you, right, then you're not an entrepreneur. Like I'm a manager of assets. If that makes sense, right? I can't go on vacation in Ibiza right now and say, all right, my business is going to grow and make me more money, right, without me being there, right? So I still got to manage things. But for the most part, I've always been entrepreneurial minded. Come to short, but yeah, I started learning, how to buy and sell and trade stocks. I did that for a little bit. I did cryptocurrency for a little bit. I made some money. But for the most part, where I really went heavy into was eBay, buying and selling. For the summertime period, I go to baseball games and basically buy bobbleheads off of people as they walk in. It's like giveaways. So they give away 25,000 bobbleheads at a particular game. And as people walk in the door, they give them for free, right? So I would be at the top of the entrance and basically have people working for me at every single entrance and buying them off of people with my money, right? I buy them for $5 to $10 and flip them on eBay for 35 to 50 plus. And so it's a very, you can make no joke, you can make $1,000, $2,000 profit literally a night because you get them. You have that listing already up on eBay that you just gotta edit the inventory on, and I sell out every single night. I sell out within less than 24 hours. And you can do that. I did that like some months. So I think July there's three of them. This month there's three of them. Right? So if someone wants to do that, that's an extra $3,000 to $4,000 profit a month. That could be life changing for a lot of people, right? Extra disposable income, more income that you can now go out there and invest into. Oh, you want to start up a Shopify store? Yeah, there's no upfront cost, but you should at least set aside two to $500 for ad spend just to figure shit out. You know what I mean? I myself on my store right now, I didn't break even until at like $300 of ad spend, and then actually more because technically that's not accounting for the apps and stuff like that in my store. So yeah, you got to put like $500 aside just to start that out. I basically, I would go to a garage and estate sales, basically take Gary V's advice, and I just implemented it. He put out like a 2017 flip challenge. I was like, all right, you got to make, I think it was like $20,000 and 17 bucks, in 2017 by buying and selling on eBay. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I actually didn't do it, right? Because I started with eBay, and then I was like, oh, I need to take the Shopify opportunity, and I went into Shopify, right? And I failed miserably at it, but at first, I would have been on track to possibly do it. But yeah, so I basically, started buying and selling on eBay last summer, so summer of 2017. I made probably like, $1,500 profit within like 2 weeks off of my first time of buying and selling stuff on eBay, which is like, pretty good when you're starting out with something. And what I would really do is go to estate sales. Garage sales are cool, but estate sales are like the higher ticket stuff. In that I did have some money saved up, and just be like, okay, cool. I can buy this and flip it for a larger margin. And I would flip it for a larger margin on eBay. That was pretty cool for a little bit, but I eventually wanted to sell stuff that I'm passionate about. And I have full control on business and like take it to the next level. So I happened to, watch a couple of videos about Shopify. And, like these people are saying like, oh, you're making so much money, on Shopify. So like, I sell stuff on eBay. I know everything, so I'm going to go in on it, right? Of course, I failed miserably. But I don't let that get to me. You know what I mean? Shopify has always been the one thing where it's like, oh, it's so cool because it's like you run your own business, especially if you're dropshipping off Shopify. It's not like there's really not that many upfront costs. It's a very good introduction to business. Like if you wanna, be a businessman, be an entrepreneur for a lifetime, right? Especially someone my age or even a little older. It's a very good introduction to business because you get to learn how to deal with customers, how to run a successful business, how to make consistent profit, month and like day in day out, how to manage budget, ad spend and so on and so forth. But for about the first 8 to 10 months, I really didn't make any money. We made a couple $100. And the reason being is because I was too focused on learning how to create the best Shopify store, but I wasn't focused at all about marketing. So when I eventually come to realize now, and what I teach people, when I tell people is that, look, you can have the best store out there, but if you don't know how to market, you make basically no sales. I was driving traffic through Instagram. I wasn't even running Insta ads though, right? So, but if you know how to market and you have the crappiest store out there, you'll still make sales. So I tell people learn how to market, learn Facebook ads, learn Instagram ads, learn Google AdWords and so on and so forth, and then branch into whatever you want to do. That's a skill, right? And you can apply that to affiliate marketing. You could apply it to basically if you want to sell a course, grow your personal brand, whatever. Or you can even apply it to Shopify. You could even use it in a way to basically, drive sales to a product that you just private label on Amazon and scale that up, right? So I feel like learning Facebook ads or just any advertising in general is the skill that it's like one of the most valuable skills that you can have right now. And if you were to take that skill and then say, okay, now I want to do this. Now I want to do this. Now I can do this. It opens up your horizons because now you can drive traffic and targeted traffic to anything that you want to do, anything that you want to make money from. So that's what I would really suggest to people now. And once I got that into my head, and I was like, look, I'm done failing with this shit. I actually wanted to start making some real money. Basically, March, April of this year, I just learned Facebook ads for about a month or two. Happened to go to some conventions, meet some people, ran into this one kid who basically in the same situation as I am, just like a couple months ahead of me. It's like I just opened up a new store, and this is the first store that I'm actually starting making money from. It was a summer type store, and like last month I think he did like 160K in revenue, right?
What?
So
Holy shit.
Yeah. So and this kid is like really low key, so doesn't have a following at all. Basically, you're older than me. So I ran into him, and he actually, helped me out in some ways. Like, you can learn whether it's paid or free information. You can learn 95% of it, but if you don't have that mentor just to guide you and direct you, or just to be there when you ask, like for me, I focus on Facebook ads. So if you don't have that mentor to ask, like, oh, what the fuck does this mean? What the hell does this mean? Because Facebook, every single time you start something and you try something new on Facebook, there's a whole set of vocabulary that you need to learn, right? It's like it's not very straightforward. It's very complicated in a way. And there's a lot of variables. So he basically helped me out a little bit, and he was my mentor, if anything. And then so I got my first successful store up and running like about 2 months ago. This month, I'm doing over $1,000 in revenue a day. So like I'm doing like 35K revenue a month. And the profit margins are insane. Yeah, and I'm still scaling up my ads and stuff like that. So I basically was doing it right, and like potentially I could get it to like 70, 80K revenue a month. And it's really good profit margins. And I don't have a partner in it, so it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
in my age. But
So what are some so apart from failing on that one Shopify store, maybe like personally, like growth wise and stuff, what's something that you found that you had to change, maybe about your lifestyle or just how you were thinking when you were starting out with the like when you said you started out eBay flipping and stuff.
yeah, so well, and I still keep myself humble and stuff like that. You know, I don't need to, but I still flip a lot of things on eBay.
Do you have any? So you're obviously a young kid, but to anybody who's around your age or even a little bit older getting started, do you have any advice to people who are starting their entrepreneur journey or something?
Couple things. Try to start as young as possible. And the only
Yeah.
reason why I say that, right, is because before you're married, before you have kids, before you have other dependencies other than yourself, you want to take more risk, and not only take more risk, you don't got to really worry about other people telling you what to do, or you don't got to really worry about, oh, like I can only spend this much money every single month. I can only invest this much money every, you know, when there's still a roof under your head, take advantage of that, right? So it's just something to get off your chest.
Yeah.
It's one less worry, and then you can say like, oh, now I can actually spend. Like, who cares if you lose a couple $1,000? Like, yeah, it fucking sucks, right? I've been there, done that. But I take basically any single opportunity I get. If I'm interested in it, I basically take it, no matter what the risk is. That's just me, though, right? So I would definitely say that. And then mindset is very key. One thing that really drastically affected my success, because where it really like turned, I guess just income from like pocket income to basically consistent, long-term, and scalable income, and like basically changed my like I guess journey and trajectory, like, and actually accelerated it, was I got used to being that a lot of the things that I would set out to do for the first time I'd fail at. I got used to the mentality of, don't expect anything to happen, and if something happens, it's a blessing, right? Now, yeah, you can think of that, but then right then and there, you're putting that sense of doubt into, that your mind, right? Where it's like, yeah, what's the chance of this happening, right? Am I really going to make this happen? Am I really going to open up a successful Shopify store? Am I really going to be making over $1,000 every single day in my Shopify store? Am I going to be making, over a couple $100 profit a day? Like if you have that doubt in your head, where it's like, no, it's an if it's a maybe, right? Then it just affects your mindset. Like, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows, right? So if you say, I will make over 10K this month in Shopify revenue, right? Yes, right. That's a milestone, right? And you most likely would do it if you have no sense of doubt and you're willing to put in the work, right? It's working hard and smart, but you got to have the mindset as well, right? Like, for me, I would set out to do something in the past, and I would say, yeah, it might not work out. And then my mind basically expected it to not work out. And I basically was preparing for failure, right? But now, within the past couple months, since the beginning of the year, I expected things to succeed, and I was preparing to, bask in glory and success, right? And that's basically what I've been doing for the most part. If something fails, it sucks, but don't go into something with a sense of doubt. Go into something saying that I will do something, and when this happens, I will do this. I can do this, so on and so forth. Don't say, oh, if this happens. Change 2 words of your vocabulary, and you can go a long way. Change if to when, and change I'm going to I will.
Yeah, man, that's some killer advice. That mindset's super important.
Yeah, mindset's everything, and it affects you more than you would think, right? I could definitely say for a fact that everything that I have a sense of doubt in, I feel like, looking back, I accomplished less of what I really wanted to do. Um,
Yeah. Are you reading any influential books right now, or watching any apart from Gary, obviously, following any certain mentors or anything like that?
so, as of book wise, I'm reading The One Thing, um, and it basically tells you how to more of the thing, the story is like, you chase two rabbits, you're not going to end up with one. And how that's helped me in a way is like, look, it's helping me focus more on, like, right now I'm allocating all my time basically to automating and increasing longevity of my Shopify store. And before I scale up my ads, like right now I'm telling you, I basically have campaigns set up where I can triple my monthly revenue, and that's like, those are realistic numbers. But I'm not doing that yet until I basically increase the longevity of my store and the legality of my store. Right, that's why I don't really want to disclose anything right now. And also automate everything. So like right now it's like, kind of a tipping point, but I want to make this 24/7 income. Right?
Yeah, it's an exciting time for you.
Yeah, it is, bro.
How many hours? How many hours a day do you work?
Depends. If I'm really, really feeling into it, I can sit in front of my computer for 10, 15 hours at a time, but it depends upon how focused and dialed in I am.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm personally working on too. We all have our downfalls, but I need to be, totally focused. On days that I really dial in, I can put in 10 hours plus a day, right? But like today, for instance, I probably worked 4 or 5 hours, and I might work another 3 hours tonight.
Yeah. Is there anything you're struggling with right now as an entrepreneur?
Balance.
Yeah, between like personal life and work life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, right, I strongly believe that when you're trying to start up something, there's no room for balance. Okay, right? Like if you allow balance to come in, time is a factor. You may not get that opportunity to actually set something up. But once you have something set up, and now you're basically in the stage of maintaining and growing it, and it can be multiple things as well. Balance is necessary, and it's very hard for me. It's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, but again, I could be doing this, and then a sense of regret, like, I don't like knowing that I could be doing something better for my time, and it's like I feel that my focus right now is my businesses, right? I'm basically scaling up my Shopify and Amazon business, and open up another Shopify store. But it's like it's just a balance.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm really struggling with. Right?
Yeah. All right. Cool, man. Well, hey, Chris, I think that's a good place to kind of cap it off. Thank you so much for like taking the time and doing this little interview style, sharing your story and stuff. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Do you have any parting words to people watching?
I would definitely say a couple of things, right? The cliche shit of whether you say you can or cannot do something, you're always right. I always live by that. But once you get to a point where you're making decent money, it's just as hard to get to the next level as it is to get to that level. I don't think it's just as hard. It's probably a little easier. Your first $10,000 is probably the hardest, but it's not as hard to go from 10 to 100,000. But the point being is that it's very hard to fight this sense of settling, right? No one really ever talks about this, but like your mind automatically wants to settle once you achieve a goal, right? When you achieve a goal, it's like, oh, cool, you're happy, you're fulfilled, and then it's like, okay, then you go into like, oh, I don't really need to do this anymore. I don't need to work as hard anymore, right? But try to really, I mean, if you can, it's whatever makes you happy. But if your goals are way higher than your current expectations, just try to constantly match your actions to your ambitions, right? I'm always speaking like, I guess a preacher of that. You got to trick your mind, because if you really want to go out there and change the world, the wiring of our brain, in which we were born with, is not going to bring you there.
Yeah.
Rewire it. So
cool. Awesome, man. Cheers. Well, thank you so much.